Bill Bengston's university peer-reviewed studies show time and time again complete cancer cures in mice. He did some other studies that proved that this was not energy transfer, and the working model is resonance. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how something as simple as a selfish list of desires can create the resonance that will help you heal. Hey there, it's Suzanne Clegg, and today is the group distance healing, so welcome. So I'm working with a woman whose cat has cancer, and it seems that she's very good at the Bengston Method. She's great at hypercycling, she's clairvoyant, she can see how it's working, how it's not working, and it seems that the cat responds better when I give the sessions than when she gives the sessions, and which is a little not as advertised, right? Because I advertise that I can train you how to do what I do. Maybe not the same, but you know, pretty darn good. And we were wondering, why does the cat respond better to me doing it from a distance than her beloved person doing it? So I decided to revisit the basics. And part of the basics is this selfish list where we write down about 20 things that we want that we don't have, that are about ourselves. They're not about wanting other people to be different or other things to be different. They're wanting ourselves to have different experiences in life. Things that we want that we don't have. It's not a gratitude list, so it's not just like, oh, I want more beautiful sunsets. I like them so much every night. I want to keep doing that. It's like your longings, your desires, things that you actually feel very separate from. You become conscious of that. And then you memorize the list so that you can flip through it. And what this does is it engineers a resonance with a freer, wiser, fuller version of ourselves, one that already experiences amazement and fullness. And I think there's ways to do this kind of superficially and ways to deepen it so it actually works better. Let's just try an experiment, okay? So let's think of something that you want. Just so that we're kind of doing something similar. Let's do not health, because health is why we're all here. Let's practice with something that doesn't have anything to do with health. Let's do something to do with a household improvement, something in your environment that needs fixing or upgrading. Okay, and think of this thing that you want that you don't have. And get it in your mind. And just notice what part of you is wanting it. Okay, so I'm going to give the example of I want my van to be washed. This is kind of a simple desire. I could just drive to the car wash and do it, right? But it's something that I want that I don't have right now. So I'm going to just notice there's a place in me that visualizes my van being washed as just a chore of like, okay, something to do on my to-do list. Okay, yeah, that would be nice to have a shiny, bright, the ceramic coating on the van to be all shiny, bright. Feels like I'm taking good care of my equipment. But notice as I'm thinking about this, it feels more like a chore and a to-do. To me, it feels like it's coming from my superego, which is this unrelenting force of you got to do this and this and this and this and this, which can be exhausting for me at least. So now and maybe you were doing some version of that with what you were thinking of. So now let's switch and let's tap into our higher self. What are some other words for that? Our future freer self, or our future free self. Our true nature, our unencumbered, our unblocked nature. are, because I actually do have a block against washing my van. I always feel like, oh, I don't have time. And then it gets really dirty. But I actually do have time. So there's a block. So now I want you to tap into that higher version of yourself. It's almost like this part of you wants you to have this thing. Like for me, I want my van washed. And also the earth, like once the van is washed, and whenever you get what you have, it's almost like the earth celebrates. Okay, so me driving around in a dirty van is one way to celebrate being in my van, and I want to celebrate it driving around in a clean van. There's an upliftment to it for me. And I'm not saying everybody should have sparkling clean cars all the time. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that I, this week, want my van to be washed. Another week, I don't care if it's dirty or not. But right now, it's something that I want that I don't have. And so now, tune in to the fact that the car wash wants my money. You know, the little power washers. They want my $5. And the people I drive by might want to enjoy a beautiful van. I might have a different vibe that I give to the world when I'm driving in a beautiful, clean van versus one that's caked with mud. I actually kind of like the red dirt in some ways, so maybe I won't wash the red dirt off the wheels, just the body. And anyway, but the idea is that the movement from below is happening. The movement from the earth is happening. It's like all of existence celebrates these things that we come into existence, and some free part of us lets us do it. So there's this vertical alignment, this sense of, yeah, I do want that, and it's for me, it's not just about the van, it's about a bunch of other things too. And I tap into that, and all that is very much in alignment with taking care of me and feeling good about my life, not from shoulds and oughts, but by just a celebration. Okay, so maybe I modeled how to do that, and you can type into the chat whether that little example helped you tap into something that you want that you didn't have from a aligned with your higher self thing. Now, notice I didn't say aligned with God. And actually, I think our higher selves are aligned with God. And usually the problem I see with healing is people skip your own individuality and jump right up to God and say, God bless the van to get clean. I'm like, oh, help me clean the van. But it's just so far away. Whereas if I'm tapping into my higher self, it's like I'm owning this desire in a deeper way. It's not like, oh, that would be nice and that would be nice, and I want an armored truck to come up to my campsite and deposit gold bars, that will leave me and my posterity wealthy forever. It's kind of pie in the sky kind of feelings when you jump to the universal and say, yes, I want to be thin and rich and healthy. Not too thin, because a lot of us are too thin. But anyway, a lot of us aren't. And, but I digress. Okay, back in the ranch. All right, so if you know Bengston's image cycling, I would encourage you to go through each list and tune into yourself with each image and make sure the highest version of yourself has a relationship to that image. So it's a little more than just what would it smell like and feel like, and what's the emotion that you would have. Like, what's the loftiest version of you that would enjoy having this thing in your life? And this is a tiny part of spiritually programming your list, because what is the higher self is a spiritual idea. It's not really just an emotion. It's an idea, so I call it ideas and thinking are spiritual. There are many other spiritual ways to program the list, which I teach my private clients, but I thought we could do this one today. All right. So, so why does this work? Got 4 minutes to say why it works. So in in Bill Bengston's studies, he demonstrated over and over and over again, I think 18 or 19 peer-reviewed university studies showing complete cancer remissions in mice with training volunteers how to do this image cycling technique. And he's proven that it's not electromagnetic transfer. So all the chi and the sending of energy, that's like the wrong metaphor. It seems that what is more is it points to resonance as the mechanism. And resonance is a vibrational matching between the healer, the receiver, and the field. So if I'm resonating with my highest, and I stand next to somebody, they don't necessarily need to know what's on my list of things that I want, that I'm resonating with at some level when I'm hypercycling, but it actually draws their higher self into the resonance. If they're at all inclined to want to resonate with their higher self, not from a cognitive place, but a biological place, it's like physics, I think that's the mechanism. So even in a cat, the cat's not like, oh, I need to do my nails, I need to wash my van. The cat doesn't need a list, but the cat, in the presence of somebody resonating with their highest good at one level and then completely detached from the polarity of it, because when I want a cancer cure, I'm very aware that I have cancer and I'm afraid I'm going to die, or I'm afraid my cat's going to die. When I want my van washed, I'm very aware that I haven't washed it it's like way overdue for a washing. So that polarity, when you're spinning it around fast, only the positive is going into there. And so it's like through resonance, the images that are out there match something in us. And that something in us matches something in our patient, our healer, and activates their healing forces, even if they are not cycling. Okay. Now, that being said, humans need to cycle. If they're cognitively aware, they need to be involved. I don't know why. Animals don't need to. I think it's because our consciousness is in us. So we need to be aware of the cycling. And that's a whole other thing about why animals don't need. I've actually thought about that one a lot. But yeah. So connecting through resonance is not about dissolving into oneness. It's not about dissolving into pure positivity. It's actually just being yourself, which is a lot harder actually than dissolving into oneness. Dissolving into oneness is like going to sleep or dying. It's like kind of passive. Actually showing up as your authentic self is easier and harder, because it's not something that we're around much. It's actually easier once you do it, but it's like how to do it is tricky. And I think the Bengston Method actually engineers that training into your soul. So I encourage you to learn about that. And I think my assistant can give you a link to how to learn it for a discount through a Sounds True audio. And